guys. Happy Thursday. Welcome back to another episode to the moms. Today, we're going to change things up a bit. It's not going to be no more storytelling of our lives. We're going to talk all things that's controversial, that's bullshit,
that's taboo,
all the nitty gritty that I know for me, when I heard as a first time mom, it freaked me the fuck out.
Oh, for sure.
And now that I'm a little bit more knowledgeable in certain topics that we'll be talking about, I'm like, that's bullshit. How dare you make these first time moms scared as shit?
Yeah.
That,
and also like you have a new perspective now as a mom where certain things you were like, oh, I would never. And now it's like,
no, I need it.
And then just a quick disclaimer, please don't take any of these things to offense.
Yeah, these are our opinions.
Like, we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah.
We're just winging this mom life,
Right.
Like, don't listen to us, okay?
No, this is pure entertainment.
Yes.
Of our thought process, because I know sometimes my thought process is wacky. Like, Abraham would be like,
I like that.
Excuse me, what? And I'm like, yeah, like I can't do X, Y, and Z because of X, Y, and Z. He's like, that makes no sense. I was like, but it makes sense in my head. So I'm going to do that. And he's just like, you know what?
Just roll with it.
He just learns he just goes, okay, all right. That's where we're going. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So we pulled up on Google, like the top most controversial, again, taboo topics that a lot of people don't like to talk about. So we have a bit of a list here going. So
yeah, I don't think we'll get through everything.
No, we're gonna try.
But okay, we'll try to do like speed round.
Yeah.
So starting off strong, Tylenol causes autism and ADHD. That's bullshit.
I think that's bullshit. When I was pregnant with Grayson, I remember when I saw the article, first of all, it got to my head.
Yes.
Because when I found the article, I was like, well, damn, I've been taking Tylenol almost every night for, pains and shit. Now you're telling me my son's going to come out with autism or ADHD?
Same. I had no idea until I was doing my research on like autism and like the signs to look out for, and this article came up taking Tylenol.
It was like a study in Spain or something, right?
I have no idea. I didn't even read anything else. I just saw Tylenol causes autism.
You're like, I don't have time for this bullshit.
And mind you, I'm pregnant, so I'm like extra emotional, and it's in the middle of the night because like I was staying up to like clean, and I would cry hysterically. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? All this time with all my painful migraines, and the only thing I was able to take that it was helping me was Tylenol.
Right.
And now as a result, my son is going to be autistic. I mean, this was also before I knew he was, it was confirmed. But could you imagine middle of the night crying hysterically? You have this suspicions that your child is autistic and you're not getting the help that you need, and then you find this shit
all because of this one study in Spain. Like, come on, there's not enough research. Like, we've been taking Tylenol for years.
Right. So it's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
So that's bullshit. And I love how all these like claims are coming out on like Facebook ads and stuff like that.
Yeah, that is so toxic.
It's so toxic. But what's even more toxic, like I'll look at the comments and I'm like, okay, let me see. Like, is it just me? Am I being biased? And like, no, all the moms on there was like, wow, that's such bullshit. Wow, that's so harmful. And then I feel bad for like certain moms just like, oh my God, like I'm so nervous. And then you have moms who are like, I never took Tylenol and my child is still autistic. So this is bullshit.
Yeah. So there's no correlation there, I think.
No, there's not. There's not. So that's bullshit.
Right. We're very passionate there about that.
I know. We could probably go on, but we're going to end it here.
That's why we started off strong.
Yes.
The next one, we have gender disappointment.
Yes.
Ooh. Okay.
So I feel like gender disappointment, you're valid. You're valid.
Yes, your feelings are valid.
Yeah, like if
it passes,
right?
It passes. Right. Once that baby's there, you love that baby no matter what, and you can't imagine life without that baby. Whether they're a boy or girl. So
right. So your feelings are valid. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Did you experience gender disappointment or Abraham?
Okay, I will say, Abraham wasn't disappointed knowing that Thane was a boy. He just really wanted a girl, and I talked about it like in the last podcast or something. He
Yes,
just
I
wanted
remember.
that to make up the lost time that he had with his sister, so he really wanted a girl.
Mm-hmm.
When I was pregnant with Cirilla, I really
Yeah.
wanted a girl. I
Yeah.
really wanted a girl, and I will say I think I would have been disappointed if it was a boy.
Really?
I think in
You,
my heart I knew I was having a girl, but I was psyching myself out and convincing myself
yeah.
this is a boy, this is a boy, this is a boy.
Oh.
I would literally take all of Thane's baby clothes and I separated between boy, gender neutral.
Oh.
And I would like look at boy clothes and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want a girl.
And you got your
So
girl.
I did get my girl, thank God. And I was so happy. I was crying hysterically when I found
Oh.
out. And I also found out by myself too. But yeah, I think I would have been disappointed
Disappointed.
if I was having another boy because I knew when would I have another child.
That's true. And you guys
You
knew that
know.
you were going to be 2 and done, right? Or
I think we wanted 3.
oh, okay.
But we'll say that for I'll
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
we'll save that for another episode.
Okay.
But at the time it was right now we're going to stick with 2
Mm-hmm.
and I wouldn't like if we did decide to have a third child, what are the chances of it being a girl or a boy again?
Right. So
You
that's still
know?
up in the air. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it
We'll talk about it in a different episode.
Yeah, so for me, when I first found out I was pregnant with Liam with my first pregnancy, I wanted to find out the gender right away. I did the NIPT test, I think it's called, like that early
Okay.
blood test that you can take, I think at 8 weeks or 9 weeks around there.
Something like that.
Yeah, they called me and they're like, "Do you want to know the gender?" I'm like, "Yes, what's the gender?" I was disappointed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I really wanted a girl. Like I just knew I knew in my heart that I wanted to be a girl mom. Like I always envisioned myself being a girl mom.
Yeah.
But then as time went on, obviously, like I was like really excited. And then when I was pregnant with Grayson, I low key hoped for a boy.
Aw.
I guess maybe it's because I lost Liam, so
Right.
I don't know. But I really, really wanted a boy and I got my boy. So
Aw.
yeah. But I still I do want a girl, but then I don't know. I would really like to have another boy too. So
Yeah, girls are hard.
I know.
Cirilla tells me no all the time. I'm just like, pick up the book that you just tossed.
I feel
No.
like the parenting between, boy and girl, it's just completely different.
It is different.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. And I don't want 3. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Moving along.
Moving along. Breast is best.
No, bitch.
No, bitch. Fed is best.
Fed is best. 100%.
Period. Period.
I hate this because I feel like the hospital pushes the breast a lot. Did you have that at your hospital?
I did. It was very smothering. So I knew the second time around I was knowledgeable and I'm like, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I remember she was like, wow, you did your research. I'm like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did, because I didn't want to hear some bullshit that, oh, your child. So Cirilla, she was using me as a human pacifier. That shit hurt.
Right.
So the lactation consultant was like, oh, you want to keep doing that? It's bonding. I'm like, I don't fucking care if this is bonding. My nipples are fucking cracked and bleeding. My shit fucking hurts. So I remember I told the nurse, I'm like, give me a pacifier. Like, I don't care if it confuses her, whether she's still hungry or not. Like, my nipples are bleeding and I need this shit to stop. So they did, but I hate that pressure of put them on the boobs. I was so ready to be like, give me the fucking formula.
Yeah, because first of all, it's physically difficult, but it's also very mentally and emotionally difficult too.
Right. But
don't feel pressured to breastfeed if you can't. So
if you know that's something you don't want from day one,
yeah,
let them know. Make sure you have formula, or just bring formula with you at the hospital. And just know that sometimes the first formula that you guys have, it's not going to work. So just be prepared for that too.
Yeah.
but don't feel pressure that you need to like breastfeed on day one.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely not.
Okay. The next one we have here is gentle parenting makes a child walk all over parents. Hmm.
You know what gentle parenting is? And it took me a long time to understand what it is. It's all about communicating with
Yeah.
your child, making them understand what they're doing and your expectations. It's not like I'm the boss and you listen to me. It's
I agree with you.
we don't hit
No, and you
because hitting
explain.
hurts.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, right. You explain everything. You
Instead of saying
explain it.
no, like your children, they're not gonna, they need to like understand, okay, mom is saying no, but why?
Right.
I
Right.
think
It's
that's so
like,
important.
why do you want a garden? Oh, because I want to start planting things and just grabbing things. Okay, so what do you have to do? You have to do this.
Yeah,
Okay, why? So just like you nurture your plants and you nurture your garden, you nurture your bodies, you got to nurture
exactly.
your kid. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I'm like, ooh, and I'll start to
Yeah, of
sing,
course, yeah.
y'all go make me go all out. And they start like clapping and they start like,
Yeah, but you make it fun though. Like you don't,
right.
you
And I'm
know,
like, guys, mommy. And I start shaking. I'm like, mommy's
because
going
they're little
crazy.
kids. Like what?
Right.
That's what that. Oh my gosh, I don't know.
So I
Would
make my frustrations like funny.
yeah? Would you say that gentle parenting and respectful parenting is kind of the same, or
I feel like it
yeah,
because
right?
it's all about understanding.
Yeah, but also respecting too.
Right, respectfully, yeah. Like so for instance, like Cirilla likes to hit when she's upset. I'm like, no, 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 you're not gonna hit me because that's not kind. I
Yeah,
don't like
you
that. I
just keep
also
redirecting.
right, it's constant
Yeah,
redirecting. And if it doesn't work for one child,
yeah,
just figure out how to work with that child. So however
exactly.
I parent Thane, I give him so much love and like comfort and like soft voices because I have to. He doesn't do well with me being assertive.
Yeah,
With Cirilla, I have to be assertive because
gotcha.
this the softness. She'd be like,
Yeah.
no. And I'm like, girl, I'm telling you right now, you gotta go pick up that book because you toss it and it hit mommy's foot. Da, 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 da. She'd be like, okay, mommy. And then she like picks it up. So like my tone kind of like switches
Yeah.
sometimes. I'm
So
like,
see, that's like a
girl.
perfect example of like if you want to put a difference between the gentle and respectful. Like every
Mhm.
child is different, like you said. And
Mhm.
I love how you just described that, how with Thane you're one way. You have to be one way because that's the best way that he responds, right?
Right.
And with Cirilla, you can't be like
I can't be like that because
you
she'd be
can't
like,
show
no.
yeah, right.
She needs that assertive, and that's how she'll talk too. She'll say, I want TV. I want to
Mm-hmm.
watch. And like she's doing all these like hand signals,
Right.
TV. And I'm
That's
like,
so funny. I feel like
okay.
Grayson's gonna be a lot like Cirilla.
I think so too.
I see it in his personality.
Yeah.
He's a fireball. He's
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Oh
right.
my goodness. Homeschool versus traditional school.
Yeah.
I don't have patience for homeschool. But if that works
Honestly,
for
me
you
either.
guys, by all means, prop to you.
And it's not to say that I wouldn't want to. I would love to if I had that kind of maybe discipline or
Yeah.
patience. That's very, very hard. And I feel like it takes a certain kind of, I don't know, like,
I think it takes a certain kind of patience and
yeah,
understanding and how to work because there are
yeah,
times I do educational stuff with my kids. I go on
yeah,
boobcards.com and I'm teaching them like sequencing and
mm-hmm,
everything. They both learn
right,
differently. So just
okay,
like they both respond to communication differently, it's the same thing with like learning. And there are times where I
mm,
can teach something to Thane
mm-hmm.
by teaching it to Cirilla, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I'm stumbled. I'm like, how do I
Oh, okay, yeah,
make
makes
you
sense.
understand what they're like asking? So
Hmm,
it's challenging. I don't know how
yeah,
some people do it with the different age levels, and I know their understandings are like different because of their ages, but it
mm-hmm.
is difficult. I can't
I can't
imagine
imagine. And also
have
like separating the two, like
yeah,
homeschooling and then like home life at home,
right, right.
right?
It's like, I mean, I feel like it's challenging, but it's not challenging just because
Mm-hmm.
whatever I learn at therapy, I have to do
Mm-hmm.
it at home. But like that's
Right.
different because I have someone teaching me how to like
Yeah.
do it. Whereas I feel
Right.
like if you're homeschool, you have to do lesson plans, you have to go online, you have to, do all these
Yeah.
things. How do you distinguish
I know. I don't know.
the
I feel like it's
two?
almost like I feel like you need to have some kind of educational background or something,
Right,
like
right.
schooling, because I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
No. Okay.
But also I feel like traditional school, like you need that for socialization too,
Yes.
you
But and
know?
then also I do understand why nowadays a lot of parents in this country are leaning towards
Yeah.
homeschooling because of, shootings and everything that's going on in this country. I
Yep.
totally get it. Like I would be
Mhm.
scared to send my child off to school right now.
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh, quick story. The reason why we have a tracker on Thane is not only
Mhm.
to see where he is on the bus route, but I literally told Abraham, God forbid if there's ever a shooting, I would want to know where his body is. And he's like, you can't think like that. And I'm like, but that's where my mind goes to. God forbid
Wow.
if they're like, we don't know where Thane is, at least I have on the app. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
he's still in his school or he's in the woods or he's in
Right.
like something. Um, I hope and pray that this world gets better because these children do not deserve that, but it is a total mind fuck. And I feel like
It
that's
is.
why I've been so like depressed lately in September because it's like the school started up again. I'm having all
Yeah.
these feelings, but I'm
Like an
telling myself
anxiety.
like,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
calm down and stuff like that. Um,
It sucks that we have to live like this.
yeah.
That this country has all these issues.
Mhm.
And I every day I'm seeing families that are deciding to move out of the country and go to
Yeah.
other areas like Denmark or I don't know,
Mhm.
Sweden, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck.
I know. We've actually thought about leaving the country like in
Oh,
the middle of the pandemic
we
just so
briefly talked about it too, but
yeah, we did.
we
We
were
talked
look
about getting an au pair and everything.
really. We briefly touched on it, like but I don't know how serious it was. It was kind of like, oh, it would be amazing to move to England, and
Yeah.
but
I think we were kind of serious. I'm being serious.
okay,
We were
I believe
kind of
you.
yeah, we were kind of serious. Like Abraham took a couple of nights looking into it and
Oh
everything, and
wow.
I forgot I think he was looking into France, and I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
well, Thane either we already found out his diagnosis or it was like right before, and I was like, you have to figure that out. And I think he said the services there are great. And in that moment I was like, I'm ready to leave
I know.
because I'm like
And the
I'm willing to
country
do
pays for
anything.
so much too, and
I know.
they just I feel like America's so behind. We could talk about this for
I know.
I
We
feel
can
like we're behind
yeah,
on so much. But
on
anyways.
everything. Yeah. We'll continue going on a rant, but next up
Ooh, co-sleeping. Co-sleeping.
co-sleeping. This is my take
Mm,
on co-sleeping. I co-slept, but
me
I'm not going to
too.
tell you to co-sleep
Exactly. Yeah.
because I'm willing to take that risk,
Yes.
but also because I know the risk. Was I
Exactly.
really getting sleeping? Not really, because I would wake up in the middle of the night cold, but we didn't have blankets.
Mm-hmm.
We would be at the edge of the corner.
I was so
Um,
paranoid in the beginning
yeah.
when Grayson was, because in the beginning we didn't co-sleep. He was in the bassinet, and then I think I mentioned to you one time he woke up like, I don't know if he had vomited or spit up something, but he was like choking. He was struggling breathing, and ever
Mhm.
since that night, I was like, nope.
Yeah.
So I'd done my research, the Safe Sleep 7. If you know, you know. But same as you, I wouldn't advocate on it. It's just
Mhm.
it's what worked for me and my family. So to
Mhm.
each their own.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
works for your family.
Right. Whatever works by all means.
Yeah. We're not
Just
encouraging it. We're not
mm-mm.
whatever the fuck you want to
Yeah, whatever the fuck you want to do, that's
do. Do you,
great.
boo?
Do you, but don't judge me for coasting
Exactly.
because
No judgment.
I can't get them out of my bed now. So I can't
Same.
say it's as beneficial, but again, do you, boo?
Yes. All right. Oh, this one kind of goes in hand. The next one.
Yeah, the whole attachment parenting. So that goes along with like co-sleeping. I think you
Yeah.
put more down about that, right?
Attachment parenting. So with attachment parenting, I'm assuming what it means is, constantly holding your child, baby wearing. I that I stand by that. I don't think that you can spoil a baby.
Mm-mm.
And I don't know if you went through this, but when Grayson was little, I heard so much from my family, the older generation.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to spoil him. Stop holding him so much.
Yep.
Why do you wear him all day?
Mm-hmm.
You can't spoil a baby.
You can't spoil a baby.
No.
No, they need that being
Yeah.
held. They need to feel their mom and their dad. They need that.
They need that. Yeah.
I've heard that too. Like if you don't put that baby down, it's
Yeah.
gonna come up spoiled. All right. And if they do, that's my problem. That's not yours. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that really grinds my gears. You're gonna spoil them. All right, so you ain't paying my bills.
I loved baby wearing. I was
I
a
loved it too.
huge I still do it kind of. I
Mm-hmm.
use like a sling wrap and I
Okay.
just like have him here. I love it. I love the bonding and
Mm-hmm.
he feels safe. And it regulates his like emotions too. I love
Yeah.
it.
I baby wore it because I was out in public and I was scared they
Mhm.
were gonna get kidnapped.
Oh,
So
that too. Yeah, and I didn't want people touching my baby too.
yeah, I didn't want people touching my baby, so I always wore Thane
Mhm.
well, actually, we never went anywhere with Thane, but I always wore Cirilla.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways,
This is a good one. Screen time.
screen time.
I feel like
So
I have a lot to say. I'm sure you do too.
I have a lot to say. When we were going through EI, they told us, because the pandemic started, the screen
Mhm.
time increases, and that has been doing delays on the child because they're just sitting there like a zombie. And my
Yeah.
response to them was, well, he doesn't sit down when the TV's on. He's running around playing. It's almost like music
It's like background.
to them. They
Mhm.
do say that screen time, it's not a causation for autism, but it's a correlation. And again, in my household, my kids aren't sitting down watching TV.
Right.
They're running around, going
And this is
crazy.
like before the age of 2.
Yeah,
Like,
before,
right? Like
yeah,
according to
yeah,
what's it called? The AAP.
something like that.
Mhm.
Before 2 years old, there shouldn't be any screen time. Cyrilla's been watching screens since maybe 2 or a 1 month
Yeah,
year
we're
old.
team Miss Rachel all the way, and you cannot tell me otherwise.
You can't.
First of all, it's freaking difficult
Mm-hmm.
to care for a child all day long, 24/7, especially if you have a child that's very, I don't want to use the word needy, but like, you get it. Because
Yeah, it's not needy.
it's
It's that
high needs. I don't
it's
know.
I almost think it's like a developmental thing. They go through
Yeah.
a stage where they want to be with mommy and daddy. They do not want to be alone because there are times where they
Hmm.
would just sit down in the kitchen while I'm cooking with his toys. And
Right.
he's just
Yeah.
there. He just
Hmm.
wants to be in our present. I almost feel like that's their way of saying, I love you.
Yeah.
I miss you.
Yeah.
You know?
But also, like, if you're trying to get stuff done too, if you're like cooking in the other room or anything, and what's 10-15 minutes of screen time really
Right.
gonna do? And you have to think too, we live in a modern society. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna tell me that, like, we're gonna, like, come on. Oh, but anyways, moving along.
Ah, dies.
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 This is like a fairly new,
Yeah.
controversial, taboo topic, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. It is. I don't have any experience with
Hmm.
this.
Neither do I.
Abraham is very big on like teaching the kids how to eat well and how to eat clean because we
Hmm.
both weren't taught that. So we
Yeah.
don't have Doritos or chips or Cheetos or even cereal in our house. Like my kids, the only cereal we have is Cheerios. That's it.
That's it.
That's it, you know?
Yeah. So I mean, I will say, like, my parent growing up, they did encourage us to eat healthy. We never had,
Okay.
yeah, my parents actually did I'm not even gonna front, like, they did a really good job with that. We never had junk food in the house. We rarely went out to like McDonald's. Like, that was considered like a treat,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like us begging, like, can you please take us to McDonald's or, whatever the fuck. But yeah,
Yeah.
we never had junk food in the house or anything like that. Always encourage us to eat clean. So I carried that with me. Till this day, I mean, we don't even have juice in the house.
Same.
We just
We
have
don't have
water.
juice. Yeah, water. That's it. The only
But
fruity thing I think we have are like popsicles.
yeah. So I don't think we consume a lot of dyes, but obviously, like if you're out and about, or if your kid's at a birthday party, like I'm not gonna be strict about that.
Oh
Like if you
yeah,
want to have
no.
a candy or something, cake, yeah, enjoy
Mm-hmm.
that, enjoy it. I'm not. There are some parents that are very like
Like strict, like no, they
strict
can't
about
have
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I know my kids love Doritos because every
I
time
mean, we all don't we all?
we all love Doritos.
Yeah.
So anytime there's a party, they see
Yeah.
tortilla chips and guac, they're like going
Mm.
ham. And I'm like, listen, if you guys want to have chips all day at this
Yeah.
party, you're having chips
Go
all
for
day
it.
at this party. But at some point, I'm going to stop it because I don't want you getting a stomach ache.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, so. And when they do have, you know, dyes, they're not
Mm-hmm.
acting crazy. So I don't know, is it like
If there's like a
the
correlation.
yeah, if there's a correlation or if it's like the amount of quantity, like I don't know. But from what I understand is
Mm-hmm.
you can have like a small bag of chips and your kid's going to go crazy. Like that's what they make
Yeah.
it seem like. So I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? Do what you want. But all
But it
in
also
all,
sucks that like a lot of countries ban the
oh
whole like
yeah.
dyes, but like in America, like why is everything so fucking
Well, it's like that
I
with
don't
like
know.
everything
And with
in
everything
America.
in this
So it's
country, the
like
sugar and we could go on a
right.
tangent. Yeah.
Sugar is addictive. I would
Mm-hmm.
say that. Like,
And it's in everything.
it's in everything. Yeah. It's in everything.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But, anyways, next.
Next, we've got vegan/vegetarian parents. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
If you do that, I mean,
I mean, again, don't take anything we say personal
yeah,
because
I just think a child needs to have a well
certain,
balanced
yeah,
meal. They
100%.
need fats, they need, you know, chicken, beef, and all that
Especially in
stuff.
those early years. I think it's so essential
Yes.
that they have these nutrients, like you said, protein and all that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, but I don't think you're gonna get that from
Right.
plants.
No, you're not. It's one thing if they're like allergic to everything, then I
Yeah,
absolutely 100% get
yeah,
it. Like you have to be like that. That, you know, that's not the type, that's not what we're talking about, but just
right.
choosing your babies only to eat plants, fruits, and vegetables. It's like
Yeah,
they're gonna be malnourished. Like I'm sorry to say
I
that.
know. Veganism is a lot more extreme than vegetarian,
Yeah.
you know? So, I don't know.
But by all means, if it's working for your family,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
works for your family, but not in this house.
Not in
My
this
son
family.
loves steak. He loves steak. You can't tell him shit. If I tell him we're making steak, he's like steak, steak. He loves it.
See, Grayson doesn't like me. Grayson, I think, is a vegetarian, but it's like I'm not. This kid does not like meat.
No, it takes
But if
time
it's
for
like
them.
yeah, but unless it's like hidden in something, like yesterday, he literally ate a Colombian empanada.
Ooh, I love Colombian
They're
empanadas.
so good. He was just like munching that thing, running around the house, and that has meat in it. But I think
I
it's and maybe it's like a
it's
texture thing
shredded.
for him. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. If it's
Yeah.
shredded, he'll eat it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next, minimalist parenting. I feel like that's you.
Yes, to an extent.
To an extent.
To an extent. I am someone that I don't like to have a lot of anything really. I do think I'm more on the minimal side. But Blue isn't. You know, he's not a hoarder, but he just buys a lot of unnecessary crap that makes zero sense to me. Okay? I told you about the golf clubs, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
when
did.
has this man gone golfing?
Maybe he
When?
plans to.
He's been saying that for like 3 years though.
Oh.
Yeah, and we have literally a golf club in the car. I'm like, why?
For protection, duh.
I guess, but
I'm definitely not a minimalist parenting person. I'm just not.
yeah.
I like have that's my makeup area. Well, you can't see it. I have a whole shelf full of toys, Their toy room has a bunch of toys. The living room has a bunch of toys.
And that's okay too. Like, there's no like.
But it also drives
right
me
or wrong.
crazy though. So it's like,
Oh. Yeah, I can't. Like, I'm sorry. I'm a beige parent. Okay, I said it.
what the fuck is a beige parent?
Have you seen my everything's beige? You know this. Remember you and Abraham used to crack on me when I was pregnant. Like, all the clothes I got Grayson is beige.
That's
His little table in the living room, beige. Everything is beige. Okay,
You're right.
I do like to keep a certain aesthetic in my house. I said what I said. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get crucified for that. But
No.
I get overstimulated, and like colors and like electronic stuff is just I can't.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I get that. Sometimes we do wish to have a home that looks like yours, but we're like, not with these babies. They're too wild. They're too wild. So we keep telling ourselves, like, in the next house, it'll be more functional. We'll have an aesthetic to us. But I do like that black and beige look with like a pop of color.
Yeah.
I do love that aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but yeah, that's whatever. to each their own. Like, who cares what you do?
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, what a lovely one that we have next. Delayed vaccination or vaccine-free parenting.
I think this might be the most controversial one on this list.
This is very controversial. I vaccinate my kids.
Same.
Because why the fuck not? You know, I would rather, if, you know, they say they inject you with the virus and this or that. Yeah, the virus is dead. If you are getting, for instance, like the flu, if you got the flu after getting a flu shot, it's not because like you got it from the flu shot. It's because your immune system was weak. And when the dead virus attacked your immune system, your body reacted towards it. That's what happened.
I know. That's what happened to me the one time I got the flu shot.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And I haven't gotten it since, but I'm fine.
My parents never, I don't want to say my parents, because my mom was saying, my mom never co-signed with us getting the flu shot or chickenpox. You know what this bitch did for chickenpox?
What?
My cousin got the chickenpox, put me in the bathtub
I've
with
heard
him.
of that. I've heard of that. A lot of parents do that.
And then put my sister in the bathtub with me to get chickenpox. But guess what now, bitch? When I'm older, I have a higher increase of getting shingles.
Yeah. I've heard of parents do that. I feel like that's like the older generation. Like that's a thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's a thing.
But like that shit is wild because now I'm
about to ask my mom if she did that shit. Matter of fact,
I still have scars, bro. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Look at that. Do you see that?
That's from the chickenpox?
Yep. Oh, I got chickenpox here.
Wait, now I'm curious. Now I have to ask my mom.
There. Look at that. I have fucking scars from the chickenpox.
Okay, I don't have scars, so maybe I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask my mom though.
Maybe she gave you the vaccine. Maybe. Also, you know how when we were younger, Gardasil came out.
Who?
Gardasil, the HPV vaccine.
Oh, I don't.
And there was ads like, I want to be one less. Da, 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 da.
How do you remember this?
I remember everything. Yo, my memory. You can't tell me shit about my memory. Like, if you want to go toe to toe with me and like, I remember you did this, I'm like, nah, bitch. I remember you were wearing X, Y, and Z, this and that. Like, I could get down to the T.
That's so funny.
It's crazy. I'm an alien.
You are. I love it. All right, let's move along. So the next one we have on here is early potty training.
Yeah.
I didn't know that we were going to talk about that one, but I guess we're doing it. How do you feel about that?
I'm in potty training now. That shit is hard as shit.
Are you potty training both of them or just Thane?
So just Thane, but because Cirilla wants to do everything, she's curious. I'm trying to do both of them at the same time.
That would be
amazing. Blowing my brains out. But with Cirilla, she thinks it's more of a game.
Okay.
And Thane is more like, this is, fucking torture.
Aww.
But I can't imagine, like, I remember, it was last year, talking to Thane's developmental pediatrician. He said, don't even worry about potty training. He said that he met with a client and they said that they got their 2 or 6 month old to potty train. He was like, excuse me,
How?
what? And he said
How do
that
you
she
do
told
that?
her that, the baby knows how to like ring a bell to do potty training. So
This
this
is the baby a
daycare,
dog or something?
I have no fucking clue. But he was like that. He literally said that's weird. Like, don't do early potty training. Wait until they're ready, because if they're not ready, it's gonna delay it and all this stuff. So I'm like, you know what? Good.
Yeah, just I
But
guess wait till your child is ready or shows any
yeah,
signs, right?
right. And Thane is showing signs, thankfully. But like, he will hold his pee for 6 hours, and
No,
like that's
really?
not healthy. So
No,
I
that's not
have to
healthy.
like stop for
Got it.
him
I get
to
it
like
though.
go.
I mean, every family is different. So
Yeah.
whatever you want to do with your kid, I mean, whatever. If
Whatever.
it's
If
not,
you
it ain't gonna affect me.
Exactly. If you want to potty train your kid at 6 months old, props to you. But
Yeah,
girl, don't put that shit on me.
and don't stress yourself out either, right?
Yo, I'm stressed. I'm
I'm
stressed.
stressed for you,
I
for
had to
anyone else.
text his BA the other day, and I was like, I'm stressed the fuck out. Well, I didn't say the fuck out, but she could probably
And
tell I'm stressed the fuck out with potty
yeah,
training. X, Y, and Z is happening. She's like, yeah, you have to stop potty training. I was like, but I'm not.
can't stop, won't stop.
Oh
All right.
gosh.
Next we have baby led weaning.
Baby led weaning.
Baby
Okay.
led weaning.
I tried that. That shit don't work for me.
It worked for us, but we did like a modified version.
Okay.
Okay. I feel like and let me just say the baby led weaning community,
Yo,
they're scary.
they are. I remember I was in a group and I
They are
see like this
scary.
mom giving a McDonald's hamburger to the baby in the high chair. And I was like, that's baby led weenie? For me to give like a whole burger and they figure that shit out, like, you're not scared they're gonna choke? And they're like, well, that's why you do
I
it.
know.
The
And
fuck not.
I know. I was a part of a few baby led weaning groups on Facebook, and it's like, God forbid you post something like, I don't know, like my child eating, let's say, like a puree of something. God forbid you say that's not baby led weaning.
Yeah.
That's not. It's like, what are
It's
you,
like,
the baby led weaning police?
right.
So we did do a modified version of baby led weaning. We for the most part I would never give Grayson like a whole hamburger, but if it was something like not a pizza, but maybe like a sweet potato, let's say, I would cut it into strips that were like as long as like my index finger, I would say, for him to develop like his grasp. And I think it really helped because he learned how to do the pincer grasp like very
Yeah.
early on, and now he eats amazing. Like he uses his little like, utensils so good. And but I will say, so I think the whole point of baby led weaning is to expose your child to different textures and foods, right? So that they don't become picky eaters. But
Yeah.
Grayson's a fucking picky eater. And we did baby led weaning. So I think every child is different.
Yeah.
You know, I know some kids that grew up on purees and they're not picky eaters later on. So I just think whatever you feel comfortable with too,
Right.
you know, like don't feel pressured to do the whole baby led weaning. If you don't feel
Right.
comfortable with it, don't do
Don't
it.
do it.
Don't
Yeah.
do it. Just stick to the purees.
We tried to do baby led weaning with cereal and it was wasteful. I said the fuck not. Like,
It is
we
very
do
wasteful.
not waste
Yeah.
food in this house.
Yeah.
So guess what? Cut.
Yeah. It's
Ooh.
messy too. But anyway, continue.
It is messy.
All right. What's next?
Parenting without punishment. This goes back to gentle parenting.
Yeah.
You know, I don't do punishment. I do natural consequences. So a natural consequence is I need you to sit down to eat, because if you don't, your food's going to fall. No. What happens next? Your food falls. Guess what? I only made enough to feed us for that serving. So guess what? Now you're upset because your food fell. You were looking forward to that food, but now you can't eat it. So
That's
now
a
you
really
gotta
good
eat
approach.
something else. To me, that's a natural consequence. It's not it's not a punishment.
No,
it's
they're just learning.
Right.
Cause and effect.
Right. And I'm very big on like, when you do this, this could happen. That's why I need you to do
that's
this.
very, very good. Yeah.
You know, I think I had punishments all the time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hit as a kid.
I think we all were as millennials,
Abraham was
unfortunately.
not. Abraham was not, but most, you know,
Yeah,
millennials were. And that doesn't solve
it doesn't solve
anything.
anything. They're
I
not
didn't
learning.
learn anything from it all other than like I was scared of you.
Yeah, exactly. It just, you
You
become
know?
fearful of your parent,
Right.
and then you feel like you can't trust them or you can't open up to them about certain things, and
Right. Because then they're gonna be mad at you because
that's why kids are sneaky, and like, we're some
Oh
kids
yeah.
are, yeah.
That's why some kids are sneaky. They sneak around and they
Yeah,
do things without you knowing because
that's
of
why.
how you're going to react. That's why I think gentle parenting works for my household.
Hmm.
Because if my daughter came home pregnant at 16 years old, I'm gonna be like, your options are A, B, C. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not mad at for whatever one you choose, but we got to be able to figure this out together.
right,
You know?
exactly.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
I'll be upset she's 16 and pregnant because, like, girl, the fuck, like, your dad works hard to give you everything you like need.
I know.
But I would hope because I'm doing gentle parenting,
Exactly.
you know, you would come to me. I want to start having sex. What
Hmm.
is it that I need to do because I don't want to ruin my life? Let's
Yeah,
go. Let's go to the
yeah,
doctor. Let's put you on birth control. You're gonna pick the birth control. Like,
that's the way to go
you
about
know,
things.
yeah, I'm thinking the future.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I wasn't hit as a child either. I don't I don't think any of us were,
I don't
like my
think, yeah.
siblings. We weren't.
Mm-mm.
But I was quote unquote like shamed or yelled at, and that's punishment too. Like, it's not just
Yes.
physical.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just physical.
It's not just physical,
Hmm.
yeah. It's also like, oh, taking the iPad away because I told you to do the dishes.
Yeah.
You know, like now
Right.
that's your punishment, or like go to your room. You're
You're
punished.
punished, and it's like, but why?
So
Like,
why? I didn't. Also, too, like kids are still like developing.
yeah,
You
100%.
know,
They're
so
not adults.
they're not. Yes,
It's like people don't
yes.
understand. They're just like they're
They're
even
still learning.
teenagers.
Even see, I think what was it? By like the age 24 or 25, that's when
Your
your
frontal
something is like
something, right?
fully like developed. So I'm just like, damn.
Well, I think it's for men. I think for girls it's a little bit earlier.
Whatever the case is, it's not by
Yeah.
like 16 years old. It's like when
Right.
you're an adult, you're able to
Yeah.
vote and
Right.
drink and all this
Mhm.
stuff. So it's like,
Mhm.
gotta give them grace. Gotta give them grace. But if that
So,
works for your household, by all means, do you, boo.
yeah, do you?
Parental nudity.
Oh, this was funny because of what you told me the other day.
So the other day, I was telling Kathy that, okay, so I'm very like, I run out the bathroom because I forgot a towel or like
Mhm.
something, and I'm like naked, and my kids would literally stop and just like look at me and smile. They never did that before. So now that they're doing it, I'm like, no, 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 no. You guys are making me so uncomfortable.
They're
So
making you feel
they're
uncomfortable.
making me feel uncomfortable. And Abraham's like, because they're curious, like you have fat everywhere. He's like,
Abraham.
he's like, you have fat everywhere, and like they
That is so
don't. So
funny.
they're just like, oh, hi. And I'm like, you right, but I don't care what it is. I'm so uncomfortable. So like
That's
now
funny.
I make sure I come out. I make sure I have my towel. I just run upstairs with my towel to like get changed. But Lord have mercy.
I mean, I'm naked in front of my kid all the time, but
Yeah.
he's one, so he doesn't understand what.
Yeah, he's right, right. But I think that now that they're older and they are potty training, they're probably understanding more of what their body does. I'm like, yeah, no, I need to stop being naked in front of you.
Yeah, but but I think the whole whatever controversy behind it is that some parents may think that it's
Oh,
wrong, or
or
like,
yeah,
or there's like a certain age where you should not do it, you know.
right, because they'll start seeing it in a sexual way. It's just like,
Yeah.
not really. You have to like teach your kid
Yeah.
that, or always it's okay. So I read an article because I was like very like, oh my gosh, I probably should stop doing this like a
Hmm.
whole year and a half ago. And the article said if you don't make it like
normal or
big deal.
yeah.
It's like it's whatever. So if
Yeah.
they see someone naked out in the street, they're not gonna be like, oh my god, boobs. They're just gonna be like,
Right.
oh,
It's like, oh, it's
okay.
just a naked body.
Yeah, who cares? They're not gonna like sexualize every body they see. But if you're like, oh my god, you can't look at me, then they're like,
Right.
oh,
And
but now I want
that's
to
like
look
an
at you.
American thing too. Like going
Oh
back
yeah,
to
because I'm sure Europe, they're probably
they
like,
don't care. It's like it's not a big deal.
right. Sometimes I feel like I live in like a Europe life in
Same.
America.
I think we were meant to
Be like in Europe.
Europeans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Breastfeeding in public. This is a good one too. Your child needs to be fed.
Yeah.
If you have a problem with a woman, a mom, breastfeeding in public, you need to go see a therapist.
Seriously. Like there's
you're
something
the
wrong
problem.
with you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because it's like, come on now. Like I am nourishing my child the best way because you guys are saying breast is best.
Right.
But when it's time for me to whip it out to feed them at a restaurant, you have a problem with that?
Yeah, or they're like, oh, there's like a time and place for that. No. So what? I have to be. I'm homebound like 24/7.
Right. I can't go out and enjoy a hot
Yeah.
meal with my husband
Yeah, it's so
while I'm
frustrating.
breastfeeding my child. Go
Like,
fuck
don't
yourself.
look.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, seriously.
Like go, like Kathy said, go seek therapy.
I remember one time when I worked in property management, there was a couple that came in, and the mom, she had just given birth, and she was like, is it okay if I breastfeed like on the tour? I'm like, yeah, like what do you mean? And she's like, oh, it's just I feel like she told me, she said that every tour that she's gone on, like the leasing manager or leasing agent like felt a certain way or like uncomfortable.
What
And
the
I'm like,
hell?
that's first of all, that violates fair housing. And second of all, like your baby needs to be fed.
Right.
People are so stupid.
They are. Okay. Foster parenting or adopting older children. Fun fact, Abraham and I talked about, this is where it kind of goes into like the earlier in this episode.
Okay.
If we were to have a third child, we would want to adopt like an older child because
older? Okay.
Yeah, because we want to give them the love, affection, and attention that they deserve throughout their whole life, and also give them a
beautiful
chance
thing.
in life. Send them to college,
I
not
love
like
that.
not adopt like an infant. First off, I'm done with the baby stage.
Yeah.
It's cute, it's nice, but we are done.
Shit's hard. It's not for the weak.
Yeah, it's not. But yeah, we want to be able to give this older child a chance
That's amazing.
in life that they didn't think they could have. I think if Abraham and I didn't have, excuse you. If Abraham and I, for whatever reason, couldn't have children, we knew we were going to be foster parents, give them the growth and knowledge that they need to become good Samaritans in the world.
Totally see you guys doing that.
Right. I know if we ever went that route, they're gonna need therapy, they're gonna need all that stuff, and we're willing to
I love that. That's amazing.
Give you guys anything it is
just shows the kind of people
need.
that you guys are.
Yeah, it is, and we know it's an expense, and this if we do decide to go through this route, it would be something that we do when the kids are like maybe in middle school or like early high school. This way it's kind of like they're like old enough to understand what's right and wrong, but also old enough to like help out, kind of being like the same like age and all.
Right.
But yeah. All right, next one. Drinking while pregnant.
Well, let's rephrase that. Well, obviously that's controversial, like, but I've heard through the grapevine, having a glass of wine here and there is okay. I'm not anti that. I know in Europe, again, going back to Europe,
I've actually never heard of that, but okay.
Yeah, I actually know. I know actually a couple moms that during their pregnancy, maybe they had a rough pregnancy or they were very stressed out, and their doctors actually recommended and encouraged them to have just one glass of wine.
Wow.
A red wine.
Okay.
And it's it's fine. Yeah.
I don't have anything. This is one that I'm just like, I don't know.
Personally, I wouldn't. I would never.
wouldn't.
I
Yeah.
never once. Actually, the thought of alcohol made me want to throw up when I was pregnant. And it wasn't until now that I could have a glass of wine or cocktail now and then. That was one of my what's it called, aversions. Yeah, even like postpart, I couldn't. I was like, I don't want alcohol. It's just nasty.
I remember when I was pregnant with Cinderella, not that I was craving a Jameson ginger lime, but I wanted to smell Jameson. It. I like it. Well, I like Jameson ginger lime. But I remember I was pregnant with her. I was like, yo, I need to smell this. I would be like,
that's funny.
And I would take like big whiffs of like Jameson. My husband's like, the fuck is wrong with you? I was like, I don't know.
So funny.
I just want to smell it.
But like the whole point, I mean, I'm not gonna judge you. If you want to have a glass of wine, like have a glass of wine. I'm not gonna judge you.
Yeah. I'm not gonna judge. I'm gonna be like, girl, count your prayers that fetal alcohol syndrome does not happen. I'll be like, I'm scared for you because God forbid if something happens.
Oh
like
my
you
God.
Hear all these like stories where they
Amaris
taste.
Is judging. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's more like of a fear. I know. You're not scared because like I've heard stories where they test the baby's first poop, the meconium. Meconium, they test it, and if it comes out like positive for like drugs or something, they like take the baby away.
Oh my God.
I don't know. That's what I've seen and heard on like TikTok, but like I don't know if it's true or not.
Did you know
what?
that have you heard this? Poppy seeds, like if you consume it during pregnancy, like whether it's like a poppy seed bagel, you get your blood drawn or whatever, it comes back positive for opioid. I can't pronounce that.
I heard something like that. Yes, I did hear something like that. So like, you best believe I wasn't having no poppy seed or like nothing like that.
I don't even like poppy seeds. It should get stuck in your teeth.
I actually do like it though.
Oh, okay. I like sesame seeds.
I like that too. I like it all. But yeah, like it's things like that like freak me out. So I'm just like, I wouldn't even dare. If you tell me I can't do something while pregnant, okay, fine.
Yeah. But I was the same way. I was very like, and maybe again it's because I had that loss. But yeah, I didn't drink coffee. I followed everything.
Yeah.
To the T.
No, I drank coffee because I was like, it's coffee. What's
you
that?
You had a toddler, girl. You needed that shit.
I did. Just a small dose of coffee.
Okay.
Moving along. Drinking while breastfeeding.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's like kind of okay.
It's safe as long as you're not getting drunk out of
your moderation.
Mind. And in moderation, and don't be mixing that shit either.
No,
because like that's gonna make your stomach hurt anyways. But I would drink 2 ounces at most because that's all I
would
needed.
too. But I did also wait 2 hours after.
Oh yeah. Like I would personally pump. I would pump because again, like I didn't want them to test like Cinderella and they're like, oh, she has alcohol in her,
right?
So I would pump,
have the
and
drink,
then wait like 4 hours. I was like, I extended that. I'll be so engorged. I'll be like, oh my god, is it 4 hours yet? Oh, 4 hours hit. Okay, I'm pumping. But yeah,
girl, go if you want a glass of wine.
Yeah, at
have
night,
a glass of wine.
Just
you need it.
Yeah, pump. And then have your 2 ounces. I think you can go up. I think you can have like a whole glass, like 8 ounces. But like I only did 2 because again, that's all I needed because it was making me sleepy.
Me too. And I had the aversion. So if I did have something, it was like a tiny bit. And also like I would get tipsy off of like a sip. You know what I mean?
Same, like 2 ounces, and I was like,
woo!
I gotta go to bed. So like I also rarely did it because like I'm not trying to like stay up. I'm not trying to like drink and then pass out. Like I want to watch TV. So just a little bit, girl. Just a
little bit. We ain't judging, okay?
Stay-at-home moms do nothing all day.
Oh my god.
We can go on and on and on.
I need to take a breather for this one. And this is like how society depicts us.
Yeah,
right.
We do nothing all day.
We sit on the couch.
And the house is still a mess. We do
go
nothing
shopping all day.
We go, we spend our husband's money all day.
Yeah, like, I mean, I do spend my husband's money, but
Oh, for sure, I'm spending. Guess what? You work hard, so I can spend money. Period.
Yes.
But not money on myself. We need things for the house. The
Yeah.
kids need stuff. We need groceries. I want to make a nice meal for everyone. So guess what? I'm spending your money. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yep.
But we do
But
nothing all day.
it's so frustrating because they think that we have all the time in the world. And it's like, no, our job, like, it's a 24/7 job.
Right.
24/7. There's no break. There's no.
I see being a stay-at-home mom as a 24/7 job that I never leave.
Yeah.
Because when you get out of work, you're not in your office. You're not in the building of your office. You come home to a different environment. So it's kind of like your brain switches. My brain never switches. My brain is always still on mom mode, mom mode, mom mode. And I get that, like, I chose to be in this position. But that doesn't mean I'm doing nothing all day.
Yeah. Working moms are better than stay-at-home moms or vice versa.
Yeah. I feel like there's this persona where it's like, oh, I'm a working mom and I do this and I do this and I do this. I'm exhausted, but like you stay home all day, so you have the opportunity to clean and to do this. And it's
I
like,
hate that.
no.
One is not better than the other.
Exactly. Like we're both moms in this situations, and it's
We
not
should
easy.
encourage and uplift each other. And
right.
say you're doing a good job, and that's it. Leave it at that. There's no. Oh, it irks me so much.
It does irk me. It irks me. It's like, well, I get all this done and I still get no help, and I still do, and I still manage to work.
Do you have people told you like, well, like, at least you don't have to work, or have you heard that before as a stay-at-home mom?
I've heard of that. I've heard of that in the instance of I'm able to take Thane to like therapies and like work on him with stuff. It's like, well, at least you don't have to work. So like it doesn't bug me, but like it does bug me because
it does.
Because then it's brought up to like, so when are you gonna go back to work? Have you been looking for jobs?
I feel like that's nobody's business. I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that so much. I don't know.
It's like
I don't ask about people's work, or I don't.
Right. It's like I'm not gonna ask. Like I'm never gonna ask you when are you gonna go back to work.
I would never ask that personally.
Because like, not for nothing, I don't care if you go back to work. You ain't paying my bills.
Yeah, like it doesn't affect my life. So
I just don't get the like curiosity of it. It's almost like, are you trying to compare your life with mine?
Yeah. So just don't shame other moms. Like, we're all doing the best that we can.
Right, we're all surviving. We're just surviving differently. Like, you have your woes and I have mine, but the outcome is the same. We're just trying to survive.
Exactly.
We're trying to breathe. That's all.
Anyways, that's all we have to say on that one.
Yep. Women who don't want children are less than. I think that's bullshit. If you don't want to have kids, you don't need to have kids. That's your choice. Yeah. You don't need to be a mom to be more of a woman in society and in this world.
And no one should pressure you. You should never feel pressured to.
Right. You should never feel like you need to have children just to be in line with all your other friends, all your other family members. Absolutely not.
No, you do you. Whatever makes you happy.
Right. Whatever makes you happy, girl.
What else?
The last one.
That fathers need to toughen up their sons instead of showing them affection. Ooh, that's a good one. I don't. Did you recently add that one? Yeah.
No. Yeah, I recently added that because
that's a good one.
You see
this on TV all the time. I feel
like all the time. Yes, and it's just like, why don't you give your sons love? If a father gives their son love, their son are gonna be better partners in life.
100%.
You look at all these like TV cases and on TV. I'm talking about like on TV, and you look at their backstory, and it's like, well, my father did that to my mother. This is how my father like raised me.
Right. You see that a lot in like sports, like kids that are heavily into like sports, and you have the dad that's like very
like, you suck. Come on, you couldn't get that, you wussy. It's like, the fuck? Calm down.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like I see it. I think about my husband Blue because he's like a sports dad, right?
Yeah, he's
Joel's
a
in
soccer dad.
soccer. Yeah, he's a soccer dad. He's a very dedicated soccer dad. But whenever Joel like he doesn't do his best or if he like loses a game, like Blue just tells him it's okay, buddy. It's okay. That the next one will be better. Or
I could
it's
literally picture Blue. Like, it's
it's
okay.
never like what's wrong with you.
Right.
That doesn't teach boys anything, honestly.
No, it doesn't. It just makes them feel like less than.
Yeah.
But
And
like you
then they
gotta
grow up to
uplift
be
them.
these men that they don't open up and then yeah.
Yeah.
Or
It goes down this whole like
it goes down.
spiral.
Yeah.
And then like you see it on all these like dating shows that
Yes.
that we're watching. The guys are crying like,
They're
"Oh,
crying
my
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 dad.
parents always were like, you need to toughen up. You're the man of the house." Blah blah blah. My parents never show me love, so I don't know what real love looks like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I've never been in love. I'm 38 years old and
yeah, I'm
life is
30. I've never
hard.
been in love, right? And I'm just like, boy, tell me your daddy didn't show you love without telling me your daddy didn't show you love.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
terrible.
it is. It's so sad. Like, and I'm sure Blue is the same way as Abe, where they're like kissing them and hugging them and
Too
saying, "I
much.
love you."
Too much.
I know. So sometimes I'm like, "Damn, can I get some of that love?"
Yeah. It's like a little too much. Like yeah, it's funny. Wait, I think that there was like a few other ones that I was going that we put down. No?
Yeah.
Because I just thought of one because yesterday, Blue's mom came over like really
Mm-hmm.
quick, and Blue was he kissed Grayson like on the lips, and
Oh, okay.
his mom was like, "Don't do that. Like, what's wrong with you?" And Blue was like, "That's my son." I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Like
So
kissing your kids on the lips, because I feel like that's very controversial too.
that is very at first, before having kids, I thought that was weird. I'm like, why would you kiss your
A lot
kids
of
on the
people think it's
lip?
weird. Yeah.
But then once you become a mom, you're like, oh, I love you. I'm not making out with them, and I don't
No.
kiss them. If my lips are like dirty, or if I have like lipstick on or anything, I'm not going to kiss you. But sometimes I'm like, give me a kiss, and I go, and then
Yeah.
they like kiss me back. I don't think there's anything wrong with
I don't think
that.
there's anything wrong with that. I
But
kiss
I
my
don't.
child on the lips all the time.
Yeah, but I don't think I would. I think after a certain age, I
Oh
think I
yeah.
would stop kissing you because then, like, I'm not trying to kiss my 13-year-old on the
Oh,
lips.
that's weird.
That's weird.
That's
You
weird.
know, I'll kiss you on the cheek, on the forehead, or on the nose, but like
But to
this
each
area,
their own too. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think. I think after like maybe 7, when you're like a
Okay.
full child, I'm not gonna kiss you on the lips
No, but
because
I have seen like mom-daughter relationships where like they'll give each other like a peck on the lips and the
yeah.
daughter may be a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's as weird, but I don't know, man. Just whatever the fuck you want. But you know what?
Right.
Just I
Whatever
don't
the fuck
know.
you want, because I think JWoww still like gives her father a peck on the lips, and it was on
Oh,
TV.
really? Okay.
Yeah, if you go back to like seasons when she was with Roger, I think she kissed her dad first, and then like Roger. But it was, with her dad,
Yeah, yeah,
it was
yeah.
very quick, and I never thought that was weird. I was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Like you guys have that type of relationship.
Bond, yeah.
But like, I don't think I wouldn't, because once they're at a certain age, I want to be putting on lipstick. I want to be putting on
I get
makeup.
you, yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
that's my whole like.
That's your whole thing, yeah.
That's you see my brain. My brain doesn't
Mm-hmm.
do normal things.
And then the last, oh no, we have two more. So we have cry it out.
Ooh,
Ooh.
I'm not a fan of crying it out.
Neither
I
am I,
think it
especially
hurts
when they're
me.
babies.
Yeah, especially when they're babies. I just it hurts me. It's gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt them. I also
Mm-hmm.
feel like in their minds they don't know like what's going on. So like
They don't.
they're probably thinking, "Oh, mommy doesn't love me anymore. I've been abandoned." I know some people have done it, and it's only been like one night of
With like sleep training, you
downfall
mean?
with like sleep training, and it has worked for them. That shit don't work in my
No,
house.
I'm a part of I'm in this moms group with like all the moms in my neighborhood, but I don't even know why I'm in it because I never respond. But anyways, one of the moms was like, "Oh, like does anyone have any tips on sleep training?" And she was like ultimately she decided to do the extinction method. And that's
fuck is
where you just
that?
let them cry. Like you just leave
Oh.
them in the room and cry. I think that's terrible. And from what I've read, yeah, eventually the baby stops crying, but it's because their nervous system shuts down.
Oh shit.
That's terrible. That's so
That does sound.
sad.
Yeah.
They're so exhausted, yeah, that their nervous system shuts down. So yeah, eventually they do stop crying, but I don't know.
Yeah, that never worked in my household. I did
No,
try to attempt with both kids. I'm like, let me give this a
I
try.
did too.
Everyone's like, let them cry it out. I'm like, all right. With Thane, he would be up running back and forth in his crib for like a solid hour. Then for
Yeah,
another solid hour, he would be crying until he like passes out, and then he
right.
wakes up and he's like still crying. I'm like,
Mm,
what's the point of this? If he is so upset and it
yeah,
makes me upset. I'm pregnant. I'm exhausted. I'm
right.
emotional. Fuck that. Get back in their bed. It
Yeah.
is what it is.
And like I totally understand that as parents, yes, we're sleep deprived and sometimes you have to do what you have to do. I get that.
Right, right.
But there are more like gentle approaches that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, again, to each their own. But personally for me, it does not work. I did try it with Grayson once. We did the Ferber method
Mm.
where you let them, it's like you go based off like a time limit. So
Okay.
leave him in there, let him cry for like if he's still crying after like 5 minutes, you go back in the room, whatever. Pick them up, put them back
Mm-hmm.
down. But it didn't work. Like I ended up crying so much that night and I was like, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever tried that approach. I just went full on. I'm gonna leave you in a crib. Peace out. I'm going to sleep.
Okay, so
So
that's
I
extinction.
guess
I
I
can't
did
even say that
the
word.
extinction, but
Extinction.
no.
It
I
didn't
think with
work.
Cirilla, I did the whole like timer, like go in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It made things worse. She
Yeah.
got even louder, and I'm like, no, at this point, you're gonna wake up the whole house. So let's go.
Yep.
But anyways, if it worked for you, boo, it worked for
It works
you.
for you.
It works
Exactly.
for you.
I'm not gonna judge. It just doesn't work for my kid.
Yeah, it just doesn't work for me because then I start spiraling and I think, oh
Mm-hmm.
shit, like they're gonna grow up and remember this moment.
They're
Yeah,
gonna have
my mom.
abandonment
Yeah,
issues.
and I don't want my children to feel abandonment, but again, my mind goes to the extreme all the
Yes.
time.
All right. And then the last on the list is sleepovers.
Sleepovers. I slept over my cousin's house
So did I.
all the time.
Same.
Nothing ever happened.
Same.
I don't think my kids are gonna be sleeping over your house, Kathy. I'm sorry. Like
Really?
I just
I was gonna say I think the only parents that I would ever trust, or the only household that I would ever trust Grayson sleeping at, is your house.
I mean he will be safe here.
I wouldn't,
But
and my mom, obviously, but I wouldn't,
yeah.
I would never, like, ever. Like, when he's older and whatever, if, let's say we go down to your house one weekend, he tells me, "Oh, I want to stay here," I'll let him stay. Like, I trust you. I trust you and Abraham.
Yeah. It's not about trust. I mean, it is not trust in you guys. But just the whole like sleepover thing, this is where like
It's
attachment
tough. Yeah.
parenting comes. Like I don't think I can
Yeah.
live a night
I
with
get you.
my kids sleeping over anyone's house. Like when Thane had to stay over at your aunt's house when I was giving birth, I was so sad. I was like, damn, he probably thinks I abandoned him
I
and this
totally
and
get that
that.
because whenever Grayson has only slept at my parents like a handful of times, really, but all the times, yeah, it's really, really hard.
It's tough. And
It's
I'm like,
very hard.
we could do family sleepovers. I would love to have one big
Oh
sleepover.
yeah.
And it's like we are all at each other's houses, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll just miss them too much. And then when they're having a good
But
time
what about when they're older? Like, let's say they're like in middle school. Are
in middle
you like, if then
school,
they want to sleep over a friend's house, would you allow it? Because I know I won't.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't know the mom, the dad,
exactly.
who else lives there.
I'm the same way.
No. Like my mom didn't let me sleep over at anyone's house until I was, I think, 15 or 16 years old. And she went in the house. I mean, she also knew the parents, and I was friends with this girl for like years.
Yeah.
She went in the house. Man was like, who else lives here? Who comes here? Like she was interrogating. So after my mom was like, all right, like I feel comfortable with you staying here. You can stay here. But I only slept over her house, I think, 2 or 3 times
Oh wow.
throughout our friendship.
See,
But
me, I did sleep over a couple friends' houses, and thankfully nothing happened. But
right.
I personally just, again, you never, once something happens,
Mm-hmm.
your child's going to be in therapy for the rest of their life. God forbid something
Mm-hmm.
happens. Think about that for
Yep.
a second.
Yep.
All
Yep.
it takes
And
is one something, and
mm-hmm.
then they have that trauma for the rest of your life.
For
Like
the
that's it. You
rest of their
can't take that
lives.
back.
And you can't, and then they start making decisions based off like, oh, I need to heal from this, I need to do this to make, like, no, it's no. Our jobs is to protect them at all costs. Our jobs is to make them understand everything that can happen to them at all costs.
Exactly.
You know?
If one of Grayson's friends ever wants to sleep over her house, okay, that's fine. That's fine. But he's not sleeping over at anyone's house.
Yeah. I don't think any of their friends are sleeping over at my house, because all it takes is one bad seed to be like, oh, X, Y, and Z
That's true
happened
too.
to
I
me.
didn't think about that. Yeah.
I ain't taking no risk. In my mind, my number one fear
You know what? You're
is,
right. I didn't think about that.
this is where I go
Because
to
kids
the
could
extreme.
lie too.
Yeah, they could say, "Oh yeah, her older brother touched me."
Yeah,
No,
you're right.
no, absolutely not.
You're right.
Not there's no sleepovers whatsoever, because I'm not taking that risk for CPS to be knocking on my door. Oh, we need a warrant for your house because
Oh
X,
yeah.
Y, and Z happened.
No, no,
Fuck
no,
that.
no.
No. You guys can go over each other's houses, and by 7 p.m. I'm picking you up. Let's go.
Yeah. No, you're right.
You know? So unfortunately, they're not gonna have sleepovers. That's what college is for. You go to college, you have all the sleepovers you want. I do not care. Adult life, have all the sleepovers you want, but in my household, no, thank you.
Yeah, no thanks.
But if you do that in your household, by all means, do you, boo?
Do whatever
That
you
should
want.
be the title of this show. Do you, boo?
Do you, boo?
And that's all we have for today.
Thank you so much for listening.
We hope you guys enjoy this. Again, do you, boo? No judgment. This is just how our thoughts run in our lives. I hope you enjoy this episode. Let us know if you want more episodes like this.
Definitely. All right, guys. Bye.
All right. Bye.